Ashes of Creation has made numerous updates about its many features and mechanics since its Kickstarter launch in 2018. But in this video I'll be discussing why the in-game stock market is its most underrated feature. So let's get into it. Just before I start the video, I want to let you know that YouTube did not promote my last video at all. An average video for me gets between 50 to 100 impressions on YouTube, but my last video was about a game I'm working on and got 0 impressions, so I'll be linking to it in the description and at the end of the video if you're interested or want to support me. Anyways, on with the video. The in-game stock market was one of the extra features backers could unlock on Kickstarter, and since they smashed the funding out of the park, it was unlocked. I've split my analysis of it into 3 sections: business within the game, how the stock market affects them, and how this will affect the in-game world. Any player within the game can set up a freehold, which can either be a place of residence outside of a city or a business producing goods. These businesses can focus on any of the 3 sectors of production. That is to say, they can create raw materials, they can make goods out of already bought materials, or they can provide a service. For example, in the first stage of production, a player might have a lumber mill that provides wood to the neighbouring node. At the second stage of production, a player might have a smithery, making weapons out of different ores from the world. And at the third stage, a player might have an inn that other players can meet up in, post ads and gamble. The stock market within the game allows other players to invest in a freehold, and in return, they own a percentage of the business, granting them a section of the profits. It has not yet been announced whether the percentage of a business bought can be adjusted, which would probably allow for multiple stakeholders in the business. This will grant a freehold an edge on those that are owned solely by the creator, as they will have more money to invest in their freehold, providing better goods and services. This will lead to more players buying from them, which in turn makes them and the investors more money. So into the really juicy stuff. How does this affect the world of Ashes of Creation? Well, for one thing, it will increase the importance that certain inhabitants of nodes place on its continued survival. You're going to want to defend a node if you have a property within it, but you're really going to want to defend it if you have multiple investments within generating you income. This will lead to the financial elite purchasing mercenary armies and such when a node is attacked, leading to a greater sense of unpredictability during node wars, as it could tip either way depending on if certain investors get involved. This also works the other way. Investors might decide to financially back a war on a neighbouring node if it has lots of competing business within it. Personally, I think this is going to make the game way more immersive and interesting, as well as adding a greater sense of weight to player decisions during wartime. The second way it will affect the world is by the progression of the nodes themselves. As nodes progress, they can have upgrades added to them at each stage of progression. One of the examples given of this by the creators is the choice between extra living space within the node to allow for more inhabitants or more defensive features, making it harder to invade. Politicians within a node will need not just money, but also raw materials in order to build these upgrades. Investors who have a monopoly or oligopoly on certain raw materials will more or less get to decide who they sell their raw materials to and how much they charge for them, greatly affecting how fast different nodes can advance in comparison to each other, and therefore affecting the political relationships within the server. Anyway, those are my reasons why I think the in-game stock market is the most underrated feature in Ashes of Creation. I hope you liked it, and if you want to watch my video on the video game I'm making, you can click on it here to stop the algorithm doing me dirty. Consider leaving a like or subscribing if you want to support me, and I'll also be linking to my blog in the description where you can find exclusive interviews with game developers about their upcoming games. Thanks.